Hey there, it's Kari at StudioR12 Stencils, and today we're going to show you how to easily paint ombre using just one color. So I don't know about you, but ombre can be a little bit scarier when we're talking about shading and highlighting. It's just one of those techniques that you have to practice over and over and over, and you just have to get into it and do it. But it can be scary at first. So the other day we had a happy accident when we realized in one of our basics videos that by showing how to do the stencil basics, I actually showed how to ombre using one color. So today we wanted to break that down and show you a technique that can make ombre a little easier and maybe a little less scary if you're getting started. So we already have our surface base coated with our white number 27. If you are new and you are looking for tips on base coating, or if you want a refresher, I will share a video with you guys that shows base coating basics. So let's get into our stenciling. I'm using a blue number 47. We're using a dome brush. We have a reusable palette paper, which is amazing. You put paint on your brush, you come over to your paper towel and you offload. This is a necessity for stencil basics. When you come to your hand to check before you paint, you should just have a really light dusty layer. You don't want it goopy, you don't want it messy. So now that we have our light dusty layer on our hand, we're ready to come to our project. So when you think of ombre and when you think of a highlight and a shade, then you think of starting light and then getting darker, or starting dark and getting lighter. So how we are going to do this easily today is by layers, because when we stencil, it is a layers game. I am using a really light pressure. We have to whisper that to show you how light it is. I'm using a really light pressure and just going in a little bit of a swirl motion, and even sometimes a color motion back and forth depending on the shape of the stencil. And you can see that even though we offloaded, it has one layer has gotten us all through that first layer of paint. So now I'm just going to go back through and see if there's any places that are a little lighter or darker than others, just so we have a nice even layer on our paint. Because for this top word, this is the only layer we are going to do so we can work on our ombre. So let's peel this back and look how simple that is. It's really nice, light, and delicate, and that is going to be the first level of our ombre. So now you might notice that my stencil is taped through the stencil here, and that is important because our stencil is bigger than our surface. On the top and the bottom, there is a bit of overhang. Now you could tape it down on the sides because the sides are flush with the board. However, I thought that it would be easier to tape it through here so that we can get the two different corners. So I'm just going to go up here to the F. You do want to make sure that your paint is dry before you tape through it. And since we did our swirling and we had just a really light layer, when we started with the F, got to the end, when we came back, that was already dry. So now we're going to go to the rest of our words. This time, I am going to do the same technique. I'm going to start with my really light dusty layer and swirl, but now I'm going to do the rest of the sign. So now we have our dusty layer. Our entire project is done with a nice dusty layer. So how do we get our ombre? Get some more paint on our brush, come to our paper towel and offload, and then come back to our second row. And on our second row, we are going to do a second layer. Just doing a nice swirl motion, same as with the first layer. We're applying the same amount of pressure, which is still light and dusty. However, you can see that it's starting to build up and the color is starting to darken. When you're trying to determine if you have enough or not enough or too much paint on your brush, some things you can keep in mind is you don't want to be able to see swirl marks. So we are going in circles with our brush and we don't want to be able to see the swirls. If you can see the swirls, that means you have too much paint on your brush. And then as you start to build up your layers, you will probably want to hit the blow dryer between layers just to make sure your paint is dry. If it's not dry, you will swirl holes into it and you'll pull and push the paint, and that increases your chance of bleeding under, because if your paint is wet and you're pushing it, it's going to go under the stencil. So now we have our second layer. Let's peel this back and see. So now we have a really light dusty layer. We have a second layer that's just a little bit darker. So now it's time to go to the third word, and it looks like my stencil has moved a little bit here. Okay, now we're back in business. I'm gonna go ahead and tape through this letter again just so I can keep it stuck down. You may want to, depending on your stencil and how it is built, hold down when you are going through big portions of a stencil. We have what we call bridging on our stencils. And the bridging is the little piece of the stencil that connects the letters. And what that does is it helps prevent the word from just falling out of the stencil. And we, with our team of designers, have really made an art form out of creating these bridges so that you don't have to paint them and fill them in if you don't want to. A lot of times we won't, because you hardly see them because they go with the shapes of the letters and they're just really beautifully and artfully done. So now I have my second layer done on my third word. I am going to hit the blow dryer real quick just to make sure it's nice and dry before we move on. Okay, so now we're ready for our third layer. I am going to continue to swirl here so we can see what the 1, 2, and 3 layers look like with swirls. But I do have a little trick for making this bottom word really bold. So I'm going to show you that after we get this third layer done. Okay, so let's take a look at this real quick so we can see the difference between 1, 2, and 3 layers. So you can see that with just one color, we were able to do a first layer, second layer, and third layer. That gives it an automatic ombre, which is pretty cool. And I mean, wasn't it super easy? And it didn't take much time at all. However, I think I want to make that bottom word just a little more bold to add a little pop to it. So what I'm going to do now is come back into my paint. I'm still going to offload, but I am going to use a stippling motion or a tapping motion, which can really help make your project pop. Now, a couple things you do want to consider when you are doing the stippling. You are pushing harder, so you are increasing your chances of pushing the paint under the stencil, and you are increasing your chances of bleeding under. So you have to be really cautious about offloading before you come to your project and making sure that the project is dry before you go and add other layers. I typically only like to use a stippling motion when I'm on that last layer and really just trying to get a nice, even, bold coverage. The same thing can be done by swirling. You might just have to add a few extra layers. So after you get your stippling layer done, you can go back through on your project and see if there are any spots that don't look even, that you might just want to add a little bit more to. You'll probably need to stay away from the very last part that you stippled, because with that technique, it does stay a little wet on your project a little longer. So you can blow dry it and then go back through, or you can just let it air dry and come back to it when you're ready. So let's pull this off, have a nice little reveal, and take a look at that. We now have a project with ombre, and we just use one color. So I am going to do one more thing to this before we finish. I'm going to blow dry just to make sure that bottom row is nice and dry. So since we have 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layers, 4 layers of paint, you will notice when you touch this that the Friends it's not really lifted at all. However, the Family is a little bit lifted because there's more paint. And the Welcome is really lifted because we have so much paint. So I'm going to grab a sanding block with a 220 grit sandpaper. So this is really, really, really fine. And I'm just going to go nice and smooth over my project. You will want to be mindful that if you sand your project before you stencil, you will want to go into the same pattern that you did. So if I did my background and then I sanded vertically, I also want to sand vertically after I stencil so that you don't have a bunch of crosshairs in your project. All right, so now this is nice and smooth. There are no ridges. It feels the same at the top as it does on the bottom, and our project is ready to go. If you like this project and want a deeper dive into ombre, shading, and highlighting, you'll want to check out our playlist above, and be sure to subscribe so you can be notified anytime we add new videos.